So me and the wife we just read issue 3 of Gunslinger Spawn, and I was really bad reading it, man. I did not have the energy to read it, but we got through it, and I thought it was a really good. I thought it was a really good issue. You know, there were some things that were explained that I had questions about, and but I'm gonna hand it over to my wife for a split second, ask her what she thinks about the story thus far. Like, how do you like the progression of all the characters, like, or at least the ones that we followed? Taylor, the young kid, and Gunslinger, or Javi. He's yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like this was like filler episode or issue here
Mm-hmm.
with the whole kid thing, packing up and eating burritos and such.
And Javi is the name of Gunslinger. His real name is Javi. He's
Yeah,
of Hispanic descent. Yep.
but
And
the
Javi.
crazy piece was that ending fight scene where he was just getting his butt handed to him.
Yeah, he was fighting some
Like,
beasts, some big beasts,
there
and
was no conclusion to it. He's just still getting his butt handed to him. So, I was like, wow, this is a lot of filler. And then he just gets, like, demolished.
and then
And
that
it's like, wow, okay.
and then at the end of it, that fat freakish clown showed up.
Yeah.
It's just he's a terror, man. It looks like he's geared up to be, you know, they're starting this whole Spawn thing, like, from point zero, basically. If that makes any sense, they're starting it off with a whole new universe, and they got all these different other spawns, and you know, Todd McFarlane said he's trying to make his own universe. So um, I think that
Mm-hmm.
clown, whoever that clown is, I don't know. I don't know who that clown is necessarily, but I know a little bit about him. Like, I know he was a child abductor. Like, that's how crazy that story is. Like, and then like
Mm.
he's like a demon, and then um, Spawn Spawn ends up beating him when he's a human, but then as he dies and goes to hell, he becomes the clown essentially, and he's
Mm.
like a really bad nemesis of Spawn. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
not t-
he's definitely creepy.
like I'm not too familiar with all the story because it's the first batch of Spawn comics I've read, but I know those two go back and forth. Even in the old movies, you know, um, that clown was played by John Leguizamo, who's
Mm.
a really good actor. Like, I mean, he just killed it. He was the best part of that movie. You know what I'm saying? Honestly, the graphics were terrible, but um, for the most part, they really try to do that antagonist some justice, and
Mm.
they did for the most part. And I'm excited to see what happens because apparently that demon clown has replicated himself, and he's gonna be a big problem for Gunslinger. I mean, because Gunslinger's not even the strongest of the spawns, so and he's got to face like what looks like a dozen of the clowns. So that's gonna be interesting going into issue 4. So we'll see what happens, but I definitely think this was a filler issue. Like my
Mm-hmm.
like like my wife said, and yeah, man, I'm still excited though. It's a decent issue, but it's definitely the weakest out of the 3 thus far. But that's okay. Doesn't mean it's headed in a bad direction. Just mean that they're trying to slow the pace down because they got a lot in store, probably. So yeah, y'all stay tuned.